Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out Confession. Story 1. I broke my dad's golf driver. He told me not to use and replaced it sneakily. When I was 16 or so, my dad had a nice golf driver. He made it explicitly clear, do not touch it. One day I decided to take it with me golfing anyway. I was not the best listener at the time. Long story short, I suck at golf and put a huge dent in the top. He would absolutely rip me if he found out. So I went to a local used golf store, and found the exact same driver head. He had a custom shaft, so I got them to do a little operation and switch them around. Then slid it back into his bag. He never found out. Story 2. I stole to-go orders from restaurants when I was homeless. I'm in a much better setting now, but I completely took advantage of the rise in DoorDash and takeout racks that a lot of businesses started post-COVID. Not trying to justify my actions, but at worst an employee gets a stern talking to. I would assume in most cases it was more of a let's remake that in 30 seconds. Anyway, I still feel guilty and had to get it off my chest. Edit. I won't respond to everybody, but thank you all for taking some time to give me validation and tips to overcome my guilt and sharing your stories. There are a lot of good people in this thread, it's heartwarming. Final edit. I want to make it crystal clear I do not condone theft. I was unwell in so many aspects of my life, and I was desperate. And for the cynics in this thread, people can change and I'm living a fantastic life nowadays. This subreddit is literally called Confessions and I confessed. Along with that, I'm taking the best advice, which is to repay it in a way that helps other people, and to be honest I've been doing that for a couple of years now. But it has been weighing on me heavily and I never told anybody about it. So thank you to all the people that understood. My takeaway from this is you fucked up, you were trying to survive, fix it, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Thank you all. Nothing but love from me to you all. Even to some of the assholes in this thread. Story 3. I snuck out of the house. My mom thinks it was a stranger. I snuck out of the house once and the neighbors show up at 3 a.m. while I'm trying to leave and wait for my ride. I hide from them, but they seem or thought they saw me, and the next day they knock on the door and say someone was outside our house wearing a dress. I was wearing a long t-shirt and shorts. My mom's asks how tall the figure was and looks at me. Sorry, not sorry mom, but it was me. She doesn't know till this day. Story 4. I purposely gave my roommate the wrong answers for our shared exam. We're in the same major, taking many of the same classes. He's been copying my work all year, never putting in the effort, always assuming I'd carry us. For our final exam, he asked me for answers again. I was so fed up I gave him the wrong ones intentionally. He failed, might not graduate, and I feel both guilt and relief. Story 5. I egged a teacher's car at school in the middle of summer. The eggs cooked because he didn't notice till he went home. Ruined some of the paintwork apparently. Story 6. I used to fall asleep on the job when I was security guard. I was a security guard at an aircraft company years ago and I would sleep on the job. I worked the weekends and a few weekdays, second shift. I would occasionally go down to dispatch and chat with other co-workers, and I'd scan the cameras and see what they saw. I was able to figure out the exact angle of camera vision inside my post. Once I had it all figured out, I'd do my regular work, and when the place got slow and all the important people left for the evening, I'd doze for a couple hours, about 20 to 30 minutes at a time. Oh, it was sweet too. I'd get my legs propped up, but the chair in recline mode, and put on YouTube videos or whatever I'd want and just snooze away. See, the trick was the position of my chair. If I was at just the right angle, dispatch would see and they would call me, "Hey, are you all right? Looks like you feel asleep." So I assumed I was getting away with it when dispatch didn't call. I was caught one time by the armed guard and I just said new meds. Getting used to them. And no big deal. He fucked right off. That was a pretty good gig for that reason and the occasional free food. I needed up quitting one day and I don't think they were wise to my act. Story 7. When I was in elementary school, I wrote a letter pretending to be my friend to one of the cool kids. So when I was in elementary school I struggled to make and keep friends, I was very socially awkward and came from an unstable home with lots of abuse. So my friend at the time was going to go hang out with the cool kids and I was jealous I suppose and wrote a letter saying mean things about one of the cool kids pretending to be my ex-friend left it where the cool kid could find it and they said even though they knew I wrote the letter that the cool kid didn't want to hang out with my ex-friend anymore, because of the stupid letter and obviously me being stupid and denying everything, so she said I ruined her life and we were never friends again. I feel really shit obviously and to make it worse I just found out my ex-friend died in 2020. I feel really bad about it even though it was a long time ago and I got lots of therapy. Story 8. I lied to my mum about stealing my friend's phone. So, I found my neighbor's phone and was watching YT, this was in GR2, so it was like, slime videos, and I wrote about it in my diary. Then my mum came outside and I had to throw it over the fence. Mum then read my diary and I lied to her saying it landed in the pool when the phone landed on the dirt, why I lied about that, it just got me into worse trouble XD. Story 9. I broke my hand last year to get out of my final exams. Yesuhu around this time last year I had exams in a week. I hadn't studied at all and my parents are stupid strict about getting good grades. Anyways I decided the only way out was to get injured. I did goddamn research on way to break your hand and finally decided to take a dumbbell weight and bring down on my right wrist a few times. Well it worked and I got out the exam and thankfully my dumbass choice didn't cause permanent damage. I had a cast on for a month. I remember this today cause it's been almost exactly a year and today I was pushing my door open and my wrist starting stinging. Also doc gave me a small scare of me needing surgery at the time luckily didn't need for it as the damage wasn't that bad. But he was suspicious of me. My cover story was I slipped in my room and my hand hit the corner of my desk. Man that was an extremely stupid thing to do. Thankfully nothing worse happened. So yeah don't do what I did kids. Study. Story 10. I hid a raw egg in my boss trunk it's starting to smell. This is gonna be good. Story 11. I just stole a miniature hand sanitizer from Target. I had to run to Target to pick up medication in the CVS pharmacy and I also needed hand sanitizer but didn't have enough money, so I grabbed one of those mini pocket-sized $1.99 one, yes, I literally didn't even have enough for that, and just walked out with it along with my meds. Story 12. I stole Yu-Gi-Oh cards from stores when I was a kid. I am in my 30s now, but I still feel guilty about stealing trading cards from stores as a kid. It was the only thing I ever stole. I remember wanting them really badly, but I grew up with a single mom who didn't get paid much. I remember taking them into the restrooms and opening them in there. I was followed by an employee once and he made me five them over to him. Needless to say, I took my winnings and never did it again. For some reason I still feel bad about doing that and if I could I would thank that employee for not telling my mom what I was doing. Story 13. I'm a nicotine addict but after tomorrow I'm quitting for good. I've been addicted to smoking, vaping, snuff and basically every form of it, for over 10 years. I've tried quitting but I always relapsed. I never told anyone about my addiction, friends, family, relationships, it's always been my little secret. I don't even know why. Quitting has been hard, I've always relapsed, maybe, because I've never had anyone to cheer me on or celebrate milestones with. I've realized I need some kind of accountability to succeed, so now I'm telling you guys, and I'm going to update here on how it goes. Even if nobody reads it, at least it's written somewhere. Tomorrow is my last day with my best friend Nicotine, I'm almost a bit scared, but also relieved. Story 14. So I steal stuff from people I know a lot and it's starting to get really bad. So back in 2017 I started stealing stuff for people, books, DVDs, phones, cases, small items, but it's progressively gotten worse. Last month one of my friends got a new phone, didn't even open it, but I took it without her knowing. I took a charger from her house. People in my neighborhood have been saying they had stuff took from them and I'm kinda nervous that someone is gonna realize it's me. Story 15. I stole a Stomper toy truck from Kmart when I was 12 in the 80s. I grew up in a poor family. We were on welfare. I often went to Kmart with maybe $1 at most. Typically I would just get some candy. But I really wanted a Stomper truck. So there was nobody in the aisle. I grabbed one and put it in my jacket. I went through the checkout and got some candy just frozen in fear. I did that to not look suspicious. It worked. I had that toy for years and loved it. Not sorry. Story 16. I'm a compulsive liar and I've been for years and it's a hard to resolve. I believe this stemmed from a rather difficult upbringing. Up until a certain age, things were normal. Then, my father got sick, which led him to not being able to work anymore, which led him to being addicted to opiates. As you can guess, abuse, physical and verbal, followed that for years and still till this day. I feel my lying started to cover up my inadequacies as a child. I would lie to other kids on why they couldn't come over to play and hang out. Mainly, cause I didn't want them to see my dad high or experience the screaming and whatnot. Not being in a stable household, financially fortunate, and most importantly forming relationships has definitely made me into the person I am today. I've lied to get jobs, to seek approval, to feel accepted etc. When it comes to dating, I've lied about where I live, my job, my upbringing etc. I've been told I am a walking mystery. I could not agree more. Sometimes I do want to change my ways but other times I get a thrill out of it. Needless to say, I need help. Story 17. I have lied to my friends so much for so long and I don't know what's wrong with me. This got triggered by me seeing a TikTok describing how they researched symptoms of trauma and replicated them to other people to act like they have that trauma and make up these wild scenarios that are absolutely batshit insane for no reason, and it kind of held up a mirror to me and I realized how batshit insane I am. I have lied to my friends about my past, my history, my parents talking about insane things that have happened to me, talking about how I have severe mental illnesses that I don't have, just lying for no reason. I lied that my friend died, a friend that doesn't even exist. I made them up. I lie about people being my friend in real life. No, they aren't. I'm an antisocial recluse with no friends. I've done so much to make them think I have friends, that I'm smarter than I am, that I have more personality than I do, that I'm more than what I am, and I don't even know why, because I know them and I love them and I know they would be perfectly fine with me without these stupid embellishments. And now at first I may have done them to just make myself look better, but now I don't even know why the fuck I'm doing it by this point. I seriously don't. I have no idea. It's not even just my friends I've been lying to, it's my family, my own sibling. Why the hell did I feel the need to drag my sibling into this? I don't know. There's seriously something wrong with me and I know I don't have the strength of character to ever come clean, to ever tell them all these lies, to ever reveal the truth, so all I'm doing is revealing it to Reddit r/confessions because I will never be able to confront anyone I know ever about this. Oh my god, I just seriously don't know what's wrong with me. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.